Hello and welcome to FaceitTV, ladies and gents. I'm DDK, joined by James here for the FACEIT League NA edition. And we do have wonderful games coming up here for you tonight. How's it going, James?
It's going well. I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for this as well. We just had a lot of European action. Now it's time to check and see what's going on in North America. We do have ourselves a game between Cloud9 and Mobility coming up, and that's going to be a very interesting one. I see a lot of potential in the matches I've seen from Mobility recently. It's hard to ever bet against Cloud9, but generally speaking, you know, Mobility seem like a team that can do a lot of damage. We'll have to see though.
Yeah, can we have a look at the rankings and see where the teams are on the leaderboard at the moment? This is week 3 of the American League, so we'll see how the teams are doing at present. We've got 2 teams tied for the top of the leaderboard. The usual suspects here, Cloud9 and iBuyPower, with Netcode Guides and Denial hot on their heels. Denial, previously known as Lunatic, was picked up in the last week by Denial Esports, so you can see their new logo there and new name. Mobility played 2 and lost 2 for the time being, and same for Savage here, so we can see if they can pick up their first wins today.
Yeah, actually looking at this, it's very interesting because with Denial, as you said, like ex-Lunatic and Netcode Guys, these are both teams that look really good to maybe even get into the top 2, potentially, maybe. But at the same time, they're really fighting for that number 3 spot. And this is like a really interesting dynamic for me because we've seen so much potential for both Netcode Guys and Denial to actually take games off of Cloud9 and iBuyPower. So we don't, honestly, I have no idea how this table will end up looking. Obviously, this is how people will expect it to probably look and pan out over time, generally speaking. But this could really change, I think.
Yeah, so we can see Cloud9 will be in the first match of today, and iBuyPower will be in the third match of today. So I wonder if iBuyPower will be watching Cloud9's first match, and if there is a significant advantage to them playing afterwards, considering that they're both tied in the leaderboard at the moment. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, a team like Cloud9, they always seem prepared for anything. A team that does a lot of research, and they actually do quite well with a lot of research too. I mean, with ESL 1, it was very apparent that they had done a lot of not necessarily like deliberate counter-stratting, but they were very aware of how teams played. So like the mid-round calls and stuff like that became a little bit more informed for them because they're like, okay, well, you know, we're kind of aware that this is very, very likely from this team. So instead of directly being like, okay, this is the counter-strat, they're like, well, actually, you know, we're just aware because we're informed. And I feel like Cloud9's a really good team to make, you know, small adjustments on the fly by just, you know, looking at these other teams and saying, okay, well, they're kind of inclined to do this here and these spots and so on. So they have a lot of very cerebral players. Sometimes I think it's not as obvious because we get to see how clutch they can all be, especially at LAN. So definitely Cloud9 favorites, fan favorites for sure.
Mm-hmm. Our second match of the day here is going to be on Inferno, and I know that there's an update due for Inferno. We've had the kind of early warning system thing come out from Valve here. They've put out the compatibility update. What that means is, for those of you who have demos or you're watching Overwatch or whatever, a compatibility update is basically a current version of the map. So when a new version of the map comes out, should you need to use the old version, it will automatically download it for you. So that's like an early indicator that there's going to be an update for Inferno here. So I'm not sure what kind of changes we're going to see here. Possibly more flower pots.
Snow.
They may remove a chicken.
It's going to be snow.
Or 2. Snow.
Snow. We're coming into winter. Got to have some themes. I always thought that would be kind of cool. I know it's not like Dota or something where, you know, like kind of messes with the dynamic where you have this situation where, okay, let's just change how everything looks. Now everything's like really white, would like mess with everyone's like brightness settings and all that. But I want to see some like themed, some sort of seasonal changes. Just because
we had the chickens with the Christmas hats, right? Last year.
Yeah, but I want more than just the chickens.
You want to go all the way here. You want snow.
I don't want to just meet midway with the chickens.
You want snowmen. Please. You want sledges and T-spawn.
Yeah, I want Frosty the snowman everywhere.
They could break off one of the legs and use it as a knife, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could be pretty. Actually, I think you're onto something here. This could be pretty cool. But I want to see that. I want to see thematic changes. I know though it does mess with everything. That's the sad thing about it. I just know that they won't do it. But
I hate Christmas.
You hate? Why would you hate Christmas? Are you the Grinch?
Because every time you go into a shop, you hear that Mariah Carey song, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and it drives me crazy. I can't take it anymore. So I mean, Mariah Carey has made me hate Christmas. Although I don't hate Mariah Carey, it's not her fault that they just play it everywhere. It's just cheesy British stores that just think it's the only song in town. Unfortunately,
I don't know. I'm very apathetic, generally speaking. I have no opinion. I have no opinion on Christmas. I'm also very pessimistic when it comes to like actually going. That's the worst part, going for the shop when you get exposed to the Christmas rush. That's the part I hate as well. But either way, and now we've veered very, very far off topic whilst we're waiting for all the players to get on the server. There has been server issues, by the way, guys. This is really what we're waiting for, the players right now, because this matchup, I mean, I think a lot of people on paper are going to be just putting all their money, all their skins, like really high value skins on Cloud9, and this most certainly should go the way of Cloud9. But to be honest, this is not like a necessarily a spot where I would say, look, Cloud9 have this as a given. It is Mirage, you know, and we've seen a lot of stylistic choices when it comes to CT setups and the way that a T-half plays. And like, this is something like, when we look at the European scene, we can really go into a lot of detail as far as the analysis goes and the metagame and so on, to actually, like, if you like pair up different teams and how they play.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one of the reasons why Virtus.pro are so successful there is because they're very, very adaptive to how their other team actually wants to play against them, and they're able to understand how to react very easily.
They have a fear factor as well.
Yes, they're pretty scary.
We've seen, I don't know if you've seen the replays or if you're watching the European streams at work. If you are tuning in at work, then we appreciate it and thank you very much. But some teams against Virtus.pro, for example, when they're on T on Mirage, they won't even go anywhere near mid to start off with because they're scared of the Virtus.pro push. But then Virtus.pro will do it like at round 11 or something when, you know, they're not expecting it, etc. Sometimes Virtus.pro like to leave mid entirely and put the extra man on the A-bomb site. So there are, again, as we said, there are a lot of styles, and there's a kind of, at least as far as Europe's concerned, there's a meta game. I think because of Virtus.pro and the way they play, people are now being more aggressive against them on the CT side, pushing through to T Palace to not allow them to do what they want to do, essentially. And we may see that kind of stuff here in the American game as well.
Honestly, I think Virtus.pro have the best anti-picking strats for CT, because obviously that's a very standard thing to look for, is the picks on T, and I think they are the best side when it comes to strategies and team play setups for the anti-picks. And when it comes to actually Cloud9 and Mirage, there was this really famous match actually between Cloud9 and Dignitas that a lot of people will remember. I think it was from the groups of ESL 1. I looked at this game like very carefully, and Cloud9, I think in this match they may have been counter-stratting. I tried to get this question across to the Cloud9 guys a couple times just because I was so curious about it, because it really looked like, when you look at the demo, you're like, wow, you would surely never do that unless you had some kind of intel. Yeah, there's a lot of spots, for example, where they were specifically like later into the half as their CT side, where they were putting like Hiko alone on B, like just completely alone, and actually 4 guys stacked basically on A within the gun rounds. And like the funny thing, right, is that it was working, and that very rarely was Hiko actually did Dignitas even understand that this setup was being run, and they kept running into this massive defense. And it was just like murder, like absolutely just, they were getting destroyed. And so I need to try and contact them at some point just to confirm that. But it seemed like they have a very good grip of it. And not only the CT side, I was also looking at a lot of their strategies when it came to the T side. And honestly, it was like up there with like some of the absolute top-notch stuff that we've seen from Europe as well. So I really respect Cloud9's Mirage game. So from what I've seen in previous matches, I really expect a massive performance from Cloud9.
Do you think their T side is going to be stronger, or their CT side on Mirage?
I think their T side is very, very strong. Generally, they got some really strong strats. There are some really hard stuff to pull off. Like one of the strats, like everyone's familiar with those kind of those passive plays where initially for the T round, where you just get map control. Like, that's a very familiar thing. On Mirage, it's actually quite difficult to do this very well, because the whole point of that is to create presence across like everywhere on the map. Like let's take Inferno as like a really easy example. You have banana presence, you've got a little bit of mid presence, you got you take over apartments slowly, and then maybe you can even push the CTs back after the smokes dissipate all the way like to the furthest, you know, back, like library, graveyard, and pit and stuff, and then you have like mid, like, so you have like full map control, and then you can make the call. So this is like a very standard thing with Inferno. With Mirage, it's a little bit more difficult because of the connector and the CPL dynamic. So something that I noticed was that they were really good at pulling this off on Mirage. Like, lots of teams can't do this very well, because teams on the CT side generally come in to actually take picks and flash each other in on mid. So mid is never a sure thing, but they're often very good at basically having presence on B and then bringing it around for an A split, or vice versa. It was really impressive, honestly. So Cloud9, it does seem to me, is one of my top 3 Mirage teams from some of the stuff I've seen, but maybe it's just the 1 or 2 games that I looked at, you never know.
It'll be interesting to see the approach from the opponents on both sides, actually, and just generally how these teams are going to approach the mid area, basically. Again, we've seen how there's a significant difference in how the Americans play cash, for example, to the Europeans, and I'm quite curious to see. I mean, we've seen a lot of cash on both sides of the Atlantic recently, so now I'm quite curious to see how this match is going to play out.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a lot of exciting stuff here for the NA stream, and see if we can get an update as to what's going on with the servers and the players right now. And just okay, so we've got almost everybody on the server right now. So maybe we can even jump in game and draw a little. I do love a good draw on the...
Hey man, we'll have to get you some crayons if you like to draw. I don't know what you draw though. Maybe an Asimov.
An Asimov.
People like to they've been making Asimov cakes and all sorts.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen at least 2 Asimov cakes on Reddit.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, birthday cakes for like people making birthday cakes for their mates and stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, guys, we have a giveaway going on, which is when we reach 100k followers on the channel, we will be throwing out a knife. It is an M9 bayonet, and we also have a Deagle Blaze up for grabs as well. And you don't have to be, following the channel or anything like this. This is like an open thing.
Yeah, it won't be subscribers only. The floodgates will be open. Everybody will be able to spam the raffle. So look out for that. So once we reach 100,000 followers, we will, at some point after that stage, I think we're going to give the Desert Eagle Blaze away when we have 40,000 concurrents, which may be tomorrow. At the moment, we have 94,000 followers on the channel. So make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll be in. Once we reach 100,000, you'll be in to win that M9 bayonet or that.
And we're going to we want you to crash the crash the stream with raffles. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, with that raffle spam.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, we should also mention the community nights, which are coming up as well.
Should we, James?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think you're right. Go for it.
You can I was going to magic the overlay there, but I was beaten to the punch. So, as you can see there, we have community nights where you can win prizes from our partners, manufacturers, etc. We also have a special community night coming up where you can win VIP tickets to the LAN finals of our 50k Counter-Strike League. You can see the information there on the 26th of September, which is all of 8 days away from now. You can win flights and hotel to Milan. You'll be in the same hotel as the players. Milano, excuse me.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a VIP ticket, so you'll have that special guest treatment. DDK will be cleaning your shoes for you and other things.
What?
So make sure you got your passport ready, guys. There is one person going from America to the LAN finals, one person also going from Europe as well. So definitely make sure you sign up to the website, get some Logitech prizes on the go, and have some fun. GLHF.
Yeah, I mean, this is like quite a cool thing. I think FACEIT's doing like a pretty good job just trying to expand the community. There's actually a post on Reddit right now where FACEIT's like looking for more people for the demo team, which is basically kind of like the FACEIT Overwatch. So all the people that are interested in like helping the community grow and like joining the kind of demo team family are there trying to just add this extra layer of protection and response time as well when it comes to any kind of disputes on the platform, just to try to clean up everything as much as possible. Because you can never be fully without cheaters, you can never be fully without disputes and stuff like that. So
there are perks involved as well. So check out the thread on Reddit. Definitely,
and get yourself playing some CS. So still waiting for players to get on the server and see. So we'll have that game going very soon, I hope. But otherwise, Weapons Project is actually something to talk about as well, because skins. Everyone's got the skins frenzy, and that's what made this part of what made this tournament actually possible.
Yes, it went a long way to funding the prize money here. So you saw in our Spring League we had $20,000 on the line, and thanks to the Weapons Skins project, we've been able to up that to $50,000 for this league and get the LAN finals going on and other things as well. So it's been a big contribution to that. So again, you can see the links there in the. We have some. I haven't seen this one before. AAWP Phoenix Wave. We've got some new skins in his house.
I saw that one. It's pretty sick. It's been up there for a while actually. Now, some of these skins they're getting better and better. Like I mean, before they were pretty good, but these ones are pretty hot. Look at that. I mean, it's. I want them. If I didn't lose all my skins in the first place, then
unlucky, bro.
Then maybe I'd be able to like
get join that raffle.
Join the raffle. I don't think I'd be allowed to do that.
No, we'd have to redraw.
That'd be pretty heinous.
No DDKs in the FACEIT raffles or JZFBs. But there we go. So again, if you can, please support the skins in the community workshop, because you can see the reward. Us sitting here as part of that as well. So
maybe that's not a reward for them, James. Have you ever thought about that?
It might not be. You know, answers on
Seeing
a
our two
postcard, I
sorry
suppose.
faces every time.
Yeah, so hopefully this match will be started soon. I mean, there's only so much we can discuss, DDK.
Yeah. So we'll go for what... Okay, so we're just waiting a few more seconds apparently for the knife. I don't know if I trust this information.
I don't know.
I have a lot of suspicion and
we're
distrust.
powerless. We're powerless. All we
I know.
have is well, what do we have? We've got a pen. I don't know.
I got some water.
Yeah, we've got pen and some water. So
in like
hopefully we
shaker.
can turn this into a knife round, or we can just switch into the game anyway, or anything. You know. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank God! Thank God.
Only 26 minutes late.
I believe.
We've got to train these Americans.
There can be CS in a world with CS. All right.
Oh, we've got
So
purple knives and red knives.
Cloud9 mobility going for the knife round, and Mirage is actually a map we haven't seen so much of recently, and I think generally speaking in the European scene we're seeing a lot of Cash almost taking its place, and it's funny how that has sped up the development of the meta game for Cash. Cash is now basically like a 10-5 CTT affair, which is really interesting because before it was like really balanced like a month ago.
Yes, we had Devil Walk in the office for the European stream. He will be back tomorrow, so if you can make it, check it out. You can find some wisdom from the ex-Fnatic player, now coach, who was saying that Cash, you know, it previously felt like a map where it was fairly even, but now it's heading towards a CT-sided map. And in the previous 2 weeks, we have seen many CT sides just beasting, getting like 11 rounds there. So interesting how the map selection has changed. Cash is definitely a welcome addition to the general rotation of maps in competitive play. And we are in a pistol round with Cloud9 on the CT side, 2 armors.
Oh, actually, just to interrupt you quickly, first we should note that we do have Lucky standing in for SIDOF, as I've been informed. So
on team mobility.
Yes, yes. And looks like a push on B apps actually here from Cloud9. So they're quickly going to work out what's going on here.
Yeah, that's going to be lots of valuable information. We may have a quick peek into mid here, but the incoming smokes will tell all the story they need to know. That is going to be a nice meaty grenade. That doesn't connect with anything here. That's the mobility push to site. First frag goes to Cloud9 though.
Ooh, and nothing in a great position, but look at that. They want nothing bad. They're going to get him straight away with the headshot, and Gares as well going to fall. So it's so far so good for team mobility. They have the site, but really fast rotation here from Cloud9, and that bomb is ticking away. Hiko working on those Netco guy players, and it looks like Cloud9 is going for the cleanup, and they are quite successful. So really nice stuff there from Cloud9. And actually, one thing to note, as I'm sure the American team will be very familiar with Netco guys, is we at FACEIT recently partnered up with Netco guys. So if you want a membership, I'm sure you guys probably know a lot more about them in America than in Europe, generally speaking. If you want to get a 50% off a membership, then the code is actually FACEIT in all caps. It's pretty hot stuff. And we'll talk about it a bit more after the match, as we are in here with some scouts.
Okay, you can see Cloud9 have upgraded their armor with the helmets as well, so they don't get one shot on this anti-eco round. DAVEY does take it in the face, and his teammates will be around the A-bomb site. We've got Stan just checking for the flank, but now they will go and proceed towards the A-bomb site and see if they can get the bomb down here.
Yeah, so I guess, you know, the standard Glock, just staying with the Glocks because they got the bomb round down on the first round, which will allow them to buy up now after just one mere eco, and here is the buy. So now everything is going to be quite interesting to see if Cloud9 will... Well, I should think that they would definitely stick with the scout setup, and they're going to be going up against mostly AKs here from mobility. So this is definitely a great chance for mobility, but also if Cloud9 are able to win this, their economy is going to be looking really fantastic, as they didn't really invest much into this round. So we get a quick push here on Palace from Shroud, and again, they quickly work out that's likely mid, and the apps and underpass are probably going to be experiencing some traffic here for the terrorist side.
Going to see the flank here in T-spawn from Shroud, who, I'm not sure if he was able to take the shot there, but he will have some information as to where the bomb is going, as semphis does get to work in mid and takes that slip.
Some good tags here, lots of damage and a couple frags going the way of Cloud9 already. Finally, semphis does go down, but Hiko is still holding this short mid position. Nothing also in connector with that scout. So a very, very tough situation here now for Mobility, as they do try to work their way onto some form of an option. And look at this, sgares forced to the close-range defense, but the CZ, too good. DAVEY going to go down, and now Lucky is alone against the 4 men of Cloud9. And there is round number 3, and they pick up the AKs. They're not even going to have to really spend any money here, just semphis, and this is actually, from an economic standpoint, just absolutely mind-blowingly good here for Cloud9.
As we were mentioning just before this match started about the European Mirage and how you see the passive play from the Ts at mid, we did see that last round, and we're well, actually not so much seeing it now. There's an eco rush towards the B bomb site through mid. Gares does take one down, does get a second frag, 7 HP. He will probably retreat to a safe haven. And the bomb is down for the T, so I don't think it's going to be planted unless Lucky goes nuclear with that P250.
Man, you know, Hiko really reminds me of Freiburg in many ways, of NIP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he feels like the Freiburg of Cloud9. And honestly, you know, in his own way at the same time, but he's so clutch, his execution is amazing, and his team is very comfortable with putting him in positions of high pressure where he has to deliver kills. And this is like a, you know, the Freiburg thing is like, you know, playing B on Inferno. This Hiko, they often leave him B alone, and this is a very real possibility for him to play that effectively. So that's really a lovely thing to see in action.
Double AWP set up here for Cloud9. Gares and semphis going to be the brothers in arms here with the scopes. We've got one in connector at the moment, as Shroud does get one in Palace. DAVEY will wait for the next round. And we have semphis in CPL and Gares in connector, so looks like a double AWP in mid setup at the moment.
And we do have a lot of traffic that could potentially go through connector and perhaps a boost up into CPL. In fact, there it is, and semphis very close to this, and he's going to spot it. Very ready for that, in fact, with that CZ already out, predicting the boost there. And it's like very good reads coming in here, and even having the gall to just jump straight through the window to go for the frag, as he realized that there was a player near underpass here. And he's also going to get the information there as well by sacking himself. And it looks like Cloud9 holding on pretty strong to these positions so far. Mobility trying to work their way in, using a pick, using something to gain a yard here or there. And they are slowly making their way up connector here. But they're both there together, and Cloud9 are slowly going to be sandwiching them as they come out onto the stairs area. Only one pick to be made by zecK before finally Mobility are closed out there.
5-0 to Cloud9 at the moment, and we probably see a buy here from Mobility unless they do choose to eco. No, the buy is coming out indeed. So we're going to have one Galil and 4 AKs. Again, the double AWP setup does continue here for Cloud9. Mobility putting one person towards the A-bomb sites at the moment, and 3 in B apps. One presumably will go towards the underpass.
Oh, slip. Unable to make the pick there. Going for the risky play. I admire it, but he wasn't able to make that one happen. That would have been, and that play would have allowed the players in B to actually come out on the distraction that he would have caused. And that would have been the perfect storm there for Mobility. But now they've got to go to plan B. How do they get into that B bomb site? That's really the question for them. Do you have Hiko there?
It looks like we're going to see an eventual smoke, potentially flash and bum rush here from the terrorist. They need to do it fast, however, before the CTs push too far and realize that they're not going to go towards the A-bomb site. But they do seem to expect it. They've got 4 people on A at the moment, but here comes the rotation as the Ts come in. Hiko's, and we'll see if the Ts can get the bomb down.
Hiko ready and waiting. Here is number 1, zecK going down. Hiko with the double. There is one more player to be found. Only 2 points of health, though, and he won't survive. And now Stan in a 1-on-2 situation. So this, with the bomb down in 30 seconds, if you can find the 1-on-1, then this could go very well. But Cloud9, a very experienced team here, going to be working a team play setup to constantly be baiting him on the left, on the right, until eventually he just goes down. And there goes the orb for Gares, going to take him out immediately. No play at all there, and 6-0. Mobility with a close round, but no dice at the end there.
Let's see if they go for the double AWP again. semphis is indeed actually going to go for the M4 instead, so they're going to change the setup a little bit. They did have the money. Gares had around 10,000 in the bank, but they'll go for the single AWP this time, which is always important for the CTs to be unpredictable. And it looks like we're going to have a full commit to the A bomb site here. But Shroud does take down Slip early on, and this is going to be difficult. He's going to push the smoke and see absolutely nothing before nothing rips Lucky's head off. And it is a 2 versus 5 now. So I think we're going to see Mobility back on the eco soon.
Yeah, definitely. And here goes Nothing to try to pick up the last 2 kills, and not going to make the one onto zecK. But he has plenty of teammates to clean it up, that one up for him. And yeah, you know, Cloud9, they are so far away from an eco themselves, their bank being so huge right now. Mobility, you're in a lot of trouble. They have, you know, the saving grace perhaps, that they do have that maximum $3,400 consecutive round loss money bonus. That is somewhat of something that's kind of okay, but at the same time, it's going to be almost impossible for them to find themselves in a situation where they force Cloud9 onto an eco, unless they're dealing significant economic damage every round. So we'll have to see if they're able to do that, as so far there are no players going down for Cloud9 just yet, and Mobility trying to use those PT50s to work some action here on A for the A split, but nothing quite going their way just yet against the rifles of Cloud9.
Nice positioning there from semphis on connector. Rather than facing the corner of top mid, he's facing slightly inwards to kind of give the T's and the idea that there's nobody actually there since no one was facing the corner. So they run past and he gets an easy kill on the first guy and takes out the second guy who is on eco as well. We'll see an aggressive push here on the A-bomb site, but there's no quick frag with AWP. DAVEY, however, does take out nothing in apps, and this could be the first round here for Mobility.
Yeah, really good punish there, and this is something they can build off of. We see a lot of teams, they like to play passively after an early round pick like that to kind of make the CTs, you know, rotate and go 2-2 either side, and then they can find this really nice engagement, this really nice avenue of attack. But we can see Cloud9 right now, they're sticking very close to mid here with a good setup, and this is potentially the kind of best situation for Cloud9 to find themselves some frags, is playing with this mid. And actually, we're seeing a couple of kills coming in from Gares there, able to pick off 2 players as they do, you know, enter mid. And it looked like Mobility really wanted that A split, but the bomb is down now over at the top of mid. This is going to be very hard to recover from this position now. Cloud9 all over this. We do have players all over the place, actually, for Mobility, so maybe we'll be able to find a pick here or there. Another good one from DAVEY. That's 2 right now from him in this round, and we get a great pick off there from Slip as well. So getting those one-on-one Angels on Mobility right now to put them in a 3-on-1 situation. Hiko, he is Hiko.
I wonder if he knew where the bomb was there, or if he's just choosing not to face through connector, because despite him being the only person there, the bomb was top mid, but Mobility have managed to retrieve it, and Hiko will have to go for the retake here on his own against 3.
So here he goes in from jungle. They smoke off connector. Hiko is ready, checking every single angle and spot for any Mobility players. We've seen him successful in these situations before. I'm not sure if he quite saw the player on the left there, over towards slope. With 3 players left, he's going to eliminate all the positions. He's seen the first one. All they have to do is delay enough time here to make it impossible. Hiko, first headshot onto Slip. That's all he's going to find, though. And very well played by Mobility to actually bring that one back. And it looks like we're having a round here for Mobility. And again, it's hard for them to find the eco on Cloud9, but at least they're pulling in some rounds, some good individual performances.
Yeah, that's their first round on the board, and they're going to need to win every round that remains to make it 8-7. But again, Cloud9 back with a double AWP setup, and it is going to take a little while to force them onto an eco. However, buying 2 AWPs will make it that little bit faster if Mobility do get the rounds. And that's the first frag there for zecK on Gares to give them an initial advantage here in round 10.
Yeah, certainly now they have to decide, okay, how are we going to play with this pick now? We've gotten rid of a guy from connector, so we can logically assume that there's 2 on A still. We know that Hiko plays B, so that they know more or less how Cloud9 should be set up. But Cloud9, they're not afraid. They go in for the frags, just peeking in for those Angels. They are more than happy to take them, and they are winning them this round. Slip now alone against the Cloud9 lineup, able to take down Shroud. But look at this, pretty much everybody's looking at Palace right now. So Slip is going to find it very hard pressed to get out of there. You can see he does get himself down onto the bomb site, looking for more frags here. Doesn't get it, but yeah, it was a nice opening. Really good pick from zecK, but Cloud9, they seem so, they're so eager to go for the repeats. They don't care. They don't care.
Triple AWP now for Cloud9, man. We're seeing quadruple scouts, triple AWPs. This is madness. I noticed that mobility, the bomb carrier has been caught in mid a number of times in this round, which is going to make it really difficult for them to, you know, get anywhere afterwards. And we are going to see a Glock train into the B bomb site here.
And they're all just burning in the flames and blind, on fire, choking in the smoke. And Hiko's going to finish them off with the help of semphis. And yeah, just the kamikaze run. Just get the eco over with, and mobility are able to buy once more.
So the triple AWP continues. I wonder where the third one's going to be. Nothing with the AWP now. We'll see. Looks like he's heading towards the A bomb site. So are we going to have 2 mid and 1 A? Although the second one, if one's being played in connector, then that's basically A and mid. So we'll see where they head. We've got semphis getting the first pick on Lucky here. Nothing getting the second one on zecK. And mobility have to wonder what the hell's going on here with these AWPs.
Yeah, it's just AWPs for days right now, and mobility can't quite seem to find a way in. And the many AWPs makes the picking style so hard for the Ts, especially considering some of the timings can be quite superior for Cloud9 on the CT side into mid. You know, getting some good angles from connector and from short and from CPL all at the same time is a bit overwhelming. But we'll have to see if mobility are able to like deal with this in the following round. Slip going to get himself 1 frag. But and Stan's the last man standing here against the 4. Slip calling out the owned. And semphis knows it. He got his ass handed to him. He accepts it. But either way, this is something, you know, for the strategic players of mobility to say, okay, right. We've seen this right now on Cloud9. We know they're running like a many AWPs setup, the many AWPs setup, and
the many AWPs setup.
The many AWPs.
Wow.
And many.
Would
AWPs,
you believe
much success.
English is his first language?
Indeed, indeed. Either way, you have your strategic players saying, okay, this is the setup they're running with, and this setup has inherent strengths, weaknesses, and as we see Stan going into the B bomb site, and Hiko just you know, playing with him, and let's see if he's just baiting him massively here. He knows he can just keep peeking in and out, and Stan just has to keep going for the fake, because as soon as he holds it down, Hiko's going to come out and gun him down just like that. Impossible situation for Stan.
That
but,
awkward moment when you fake the bomb and then you have to reload your rifle. You get shot in the chest. Oh, that's no good. His team could have done with the money as well. So,
yeah.
Although, you know, it doesn't mean he made the wrong decision. It's just unfortunate that he didn't manage to plant the bomb.
They wouldn't have been able to buy either way, so it's all right. They would only be on 3K. So.
Ooh, just in the middle of nowhere, Slip just gets caught with his pants down, as we say in the UK. And zecK will go forward with the Glock, but doesn't manage to beat the CZ.
And actually getting a couple of kills in here, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, it's a really cool question to ask. Is like if for those players out there and people who like really appreciate like breaking down the game and stuff, is when you have like a setup, whether it's like 1 AWP or even no AWPs, if it's just 5 rifles or 3 AWPs in this case, or triple scar. We've seen that before in the last week's American Cup here, and you ask yourself, like, what is the strengths and weaknesses of this setup? Like, what's really what is it really good at, and what's it really bad at? And this like helps you to start like thinking about how to play against it in a very basic way. But definitely every single setup has its strengths and weaknesses and potentials. So it's always very interesting to go theory craft mode on that.
Yeah, some of the tidbits of this one would be just abusing the ranges of this game. Obviously, the T's having to force their way into the A-bomb site, or down mid, or through B tunnels. All abusable ranges with AWPs, and that's why we see 3 of them here for Cloud9. Working a treat for them at the moment as semphis takes that Stan, nothing takes that Slip. zecK does get some semblance of revenge, and they've got 2 frags down now, but the bomb, again, is in no man's land at the moment, but that frag will change everything. And zecK will go to pick up the bomb, or not. It's a 1v1 now, so who knows what his decision-making will be. Going for the frag, it seems.
zecK has been on point with the AWPing here for his team mobility, as he has Gares waiting anxiously behind the box towards CT spawn to gun him down. 30 seconds to remain to be played with here for zecK. And he is going to keep going the angle. I think he still thinks that he's behind the box here, behind the toll booth, and he's not. And this, Gares Betty on the other corner there, and zecK will just grab him just in time with that AWP for the round as they get 2 on the board. And respect. We are seeing some picks, some good picks coming in here from mobility. But I think, oh, we're getting the scar here from Hiko.
Ooh.
So almost all snipers.
Where does Hiko even take this? I want to see where he goes with this.
Well, he's usually the B man, so I guess
That makes sense.
he goes B alone. And so what? I mean, one thing again to expand on the previous thought is that AWPs are really, really good against the picking style that terrorists like to choose sometimes, because you don't. A weakness of the AWP is that you can get overwhelmed and that people can get close to you, and then suddenly the shots become very hard, and it's not as easy to deal with to just like no-scope people. You know, that's not like a comfortable, reliable situation. So, you know, picking against lots of AWPs can be very difficult. And so far we see Sean Gares, you know, going down here, and we have mobility down one player, but they do have zecK still alive, so there is hope. But wait, zecK is down now. As I say that, they're trying to get up mid, but Cloud9 have been very responsible at putting in those bullets, and they always seem to find the torsos of mobility. You can see Shroud just, you know, going back towards connector here, trying to lock it down. They know there's someone on underpass. In fact, Stan actually going to get the better of semphis from that underpass position. A slip in the ladder room. Looks cautiously both ways, and it'll be Hiko to gun him down. Stan going to make some return frags here, gets a double, but nothing on top of things over at CPL. And we get our first half played here, 13-2 for Cloud9. Perhaps a very expected result for many of the viewers, and myself, and you, James.
That's a very that's a very strong half there from Cloud9, and I don't know if mobility gave up towards the end there. I mean, they're just all kind of facing. You've got 3 AWPs on the map, and there's not as much smoking as there could have been. I mean, we saw some in the mid area, but we'll come back to that because we are in the midst of the pistol round at the moment, and the first frag does go to Netcode guys.
Yeah, and it's a quick take of this site here for Cloud9. Straight up on this B-bomb site. We get the retake coming in from mobility here from Kitchen. And nothing in a very good position up in the apps here. But it is a 2-on-3, so DAVEY and Stan might just be able to find the headshots here. DAVEY, no! DAVEY goes down, and Cloud9 clean up and win the pistol round. And this could be a very fast end here for mobility, having lost the pistol round, unless they're able to pull out something marvelous here. And we are going to be seeing a couple Pro 90s.
I think we're going to see a rush here. I mean, you've got to get close to these P90s.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously they're going to expect the force buy here from the CTs. And decoy spread all over the map. Slip does, however, take out Shroud. And we'll pick up an AK to go with Stan's scout.
AK dropped there by Slip, though. And looks like we're getting a pretty close situation. The Pro 90 is not perhaps performing as they should just yet, but they're still alive and kicking as we have DAVEY and Lucky remaining. What can they do here at the end of this round? Lucky going to pick off the guy who just finished planting. He was so helpless, but Lucky did not care. He took him down anyway. No prisoners here for mobility as the frags do go back and forth. Hiko on nothing. 6 points of health, going for the jump shot, and
that
Lucky
fire.
barely unable to take him down. Burst too strong, and that's the match point now coming in for Cloud9.
Well, this has been a pretty quick match, considering it started 26 minutes late. So, yeah, I mean, this is a romp for Cloud9, so just too strong. We've got the double scout set up on mobility side. Once again, no choice but to force buy here. They have to go for the draw. There are, well, for the tie, there are no actual draws here in FACEIT. So if it went to 15-15, it would be MR5 overtime. But that's not looking very likely at the moment as Cloud9 storm towards victory here. And only 3 players left for mobility. Only 2 with armor and Stan with the just naked with the scout here. As Cloud9 hunt them down.
Looks like Lucky is able to actually find a kill onto semphis there, and we go to a 2-on-2. A severe disadvantage on the weapons there, unless they find themselves some of those dropped AKs around the map. And Hiko going to take down Lucky. And here we go. Stan. Stan the man. Here he goes. Up short with the AK that he just found. Hiko's pretty low, but once again, Cloud9 in the 1-on-2. Very, very top team when it comes to those team play setups in these situations. And it's like they're going to peak at the same time, and they will win the round, and 16-2 is the score. So Cloud9 defeats mobility in a crushing result on Mirage, and you know, from some of the build-up before the game, I feel like Cloud9 are a really sick Mirage team, just in the entire world. Like, so it's not too surprising that Mobility was struggling against them.
Yeah, well, some great analysis from you there, and history of Cloud9 on Mirage before the match even started, and it was pretty much pathetic, as we saw there. You know, there was a complete shutout from them. They abused the AWPs very, very well, as we all saw there. Made a triple AWP successful on multiple rounds, only giving up 2 on their CT side. So, I don't know, I mean, congratulations to them. It was a great victory for them, and that's 3 out of 3 for Cloud9.
There's actually one point that I want to make, which is like touching on the analysis thing again. When it comes to like, because when we're looking at this setup, like if Mobility were to go back to that game, we saw what they were trying to do a lot of the time was they were trying to have mid presence, and their economy was quite damaged a lot of the time, so they couldn't really match, you know, some of the firepower, like all these AWPs that we were talking about, because we saw even the triple AWPs, which maybe, you know, taking the mick a little bit. But at the same time, it is actually an effective way to play.
If you make it work.
If you make it, exactly. No. If you make it work, if you play to its strengths. So all they had to do, well, all you have to do to win against Cloud9. You know, it's not like that. But in reality, you know, you talked about it. You know, we need to see some of these smokes. You need to be able to close down angles, and not only that, but you need to be able to get quickly on top of positions. You have to be able to progress through positions very fast. AWPs are really good, and we see when we watch Titan in Europe, when they play these AWP setups, what it's designed to do, what it's really strong against, is dealing with the picking stars from the terrace, because this is usually a default round. It's where, okay, we're going to try to find like spots where we know that if we trade one player for one player as a terrace, you know, we have the advantage as a general principle. And so we had a lot of situations, you know, where teams go for these like refrag setups with terrace, opening up angles where a CT is defensive, and they get the pick, they get maybe the trade, and boom, the tease. That's a good result. When you got lots of AWPs in the mix, that's an entirely different story, because these picks are really hard to make. Even with the refrag setups, it can be difficult if the team is very skilled. So a good strategy to go to is just watch LDLC play Cash and watch Happy's A-take strategy. These very fast set plays, that's exactly how you get on top of AWPers and how you make their lives really, really hard. So long-winded explanation, but I hope it was coherent to some. As something I want to actually remind people before we go to break is that recently we have joined up with Alienware. They have joined the family, and they are supporting this league, which is awesome to hear. But also netcode guys as well, who have some awesome content when it comes to also like analyzing the game, stepping up your gameplay, and like helping you to get more competitive, and understand how to like do sprays and stuff like that, and like looking at certain match commentaries, whether it's having your demos analyzed or whether it's, you know, looking at certain specific maps when it comes to smokes, flashes. Like, they release premium videos every single day, and you can actually get 50% off the premium there by entering the code FACEIT on their site, and it's definitely worth it. I mean, just look at what is offered. I mean, why wouldn't you give that a go? It's
a veritable fountain of information. So looking forward to seeing what comes of this partnership between netcode guides and FACEIT. But yeah, I mean, 50% discount is the biggest discount netcode guides have ever offered. So definitely jump on top of that. Get in there, send some demos, get some critique, and improve your game.
Definitely. And on that note, guys, it's time for a quick break. When we come back, we will have the next match, which will be Denial versus Savage on Inferno. So stay tuned.